Yeah, next thing on the kitchen table here is this huge water pump. It's out of my Jetwash. Now I fixed this like 20 years ago. And if I remember last time I ordered this part here as a replacement. It's a Dirt Devil one. And if you leave water in anything like this, obviously outside in the elements in a shed or something, when it goes to winter and it starts to freeze, I think these are aluminium, and it will expand the ice and crack. And I remember there was a crack and it was somewhere up here, and I replaced that whole bit. You could buy it. Oh my god, I'm not going to have a Torx bit big enough for this. How did I get this out last time? Yeah, you used to be able to buy the parts. Oh my god, it will. Yeah, you used to be able to buy all the bits from whoever manufactured these. Oh my god, this thing's slipping now. What I may need to do is go and get the... Yeah, what's happening here is this bit on the end is slipping on the shaft, I think. Yeah, it's not going round. So I need a new one of these. My tool's broke as well. Let me go and get someone to stick that in. Now I'm not sure this is going to work, but it may do. It might fit in there. Yes, it does. Thank God for that. It's got to be tight, that, isn't it? So I'm going to these lefty loosey ones or something. Is it right? Yeah, it is. The normal way you'd expect to unscrew there, but that was very tight. Yeah, last time I used this, there was water like spurting out the top of the Jetwash, probably from this part up here somewhere. So I'm guessing the same exact things happened. Now I'm not going to be able to get a replacement part. Okay, that's corroded. As you'd imagine it would be. Water in there. Hopefully it'll go in. Yes, it'll just fit in. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get a replacement part, but well, I'm going to have a go at trying to bodge this with some putty. I forgot what it's called now. You get the stuff that plumbers use, and I got some of it when I was originally trying to fix my shower. Oh my god, that's stiff. Let's try the other one. That one's alright. I wonder if the leak is around here somewhere. Yeah, I forgot what that putty stuff's called. But anyway, it does seal, and it can do pressure tanks, pressure vessels, it can do fuel tanks and all sorts. So you'd imagine if it was alright with pressures of fuel and things like that, then that slips out that thing there. Oh my goodness. Yep, that is well and truly seized. I'll report back. Yep, it was one of those full body moments, like put the entire body weight onto that. And it has unscrewed. Wow, that was neat. Cleaning up down there. And then somehow this does come off, but well, it's kind of stuck on, isn't it? Why wouldn't it be? Try and find an opportune place to try and prise the two parts apart here. So there we go, we've got a rubber seal there, and they checked that, it doesn't look like it's seated very well. And then we've got this piece, and this is the piece, hang on, you can't see. Yeah, this is the piece that usually busts. I can't see a failure point on that. I think when I had this last time, when it failed last time, it failed here. It doesn't look like that's the case, so I think what I may do is just clean all this stuff up, clean the rust off these bolts, clean all around here, clean that O-ring there, clean the outer one, maybe it's leaking out of there somewhere, reseat everything, and then maybe give it a try. I don't know, but I don't really see a potential problem. Yeah, I'll try and show you some of this. So I'm just going to carefully put the plug in, actually, just on the off chance something falls out of this. And I've got lime scale remover here, you know, it's like Silic Bang lime scale remover. I'm just going to spray this around here, because bear in mind it will have some lime scale on it. Just going to use the little brush and have a bit of a brush around there. I may leave it for a few minutes like that actually with the lime scale remover on it. There are no rubber parts in that, so I'll just leave that there for a few minutes. The lime scale remover might help. I mean, it's not like it was squirting lots of water, you know, upwards. It was just like a little spray of fine mist coming out from something somewhere. I mean, of course, that's the sort of thing that's quite hard to find, isn't it? It could be like a pinhole thing, and under pressure it will fountain quite a bit of water. Yeah, and this bit pulls off as well. There are 3 like washer things that go in here, and you can see we've got lime scale, some rubber rings in there. You could replace those, but anyway, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to spray the lime scale remover onto this. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that for 15 minutes or so. Yeah, back onto the normal workbench. Let me just move the mister out of the way. Yeah, we've got these bolts here and that washer. Oh god, they're horrific. They're really bad. So I'm going to go at these with a wire brush. Pull a load of paper down because I'm just going to get bits of this everywhere probably. Let's just try and do one of these at once. Oh my god, that's horrific. I'm amazed they even came out, to be honest. Let's try and clean it with some vinegar. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to screw through the paper towel. I can feel it restricting, which means there's lots of you know, bits of debris in between the threads, and I think you can see that. It's pretty bad, that. Let's get the grinding pen onto it. You could do it like a wire wheel, you know, to go at it. That would make a big difference, I think. Right, so the 4 bolts and the washer are soaking in lime scale remover. So let's just clean up these washers. And they could probably do with the replacing, to be honest, but I mean, you know, there's dirty marks coming off them, but they look alright. I need to inspect all this stuff now and look for any micro fractures or anything, but and obviously we've got a washer here. You know, this rubber gasket that goes all the way around there. That's a source for leakage. Check it for splits. It protrudes, you know, so like I think when the lid's on there, oh, and there's a few cracks at the top there. Maybe that's where it's leaking out. I think what I'll probably do up there is just get a bit of silicone just over there, and let that settle. It's just got 2 little splits. It's got a split there and a split there on the top. I bet that's where it's leaking, because the actual, you know, the die-cast aluminium here, I don't see any cracks on. Oh, hang on, I do see a crack on it. It could just be a scratch. Let me show you. Can you see here? I don't know, maybe that's a scratch. It doesn't look like a crack. I don't know. I can't honestly see a problem there. I think as a precautionary thing, I might put some of the JB Weld, whatever it's called, on there anyway. Yeah, so as well as that other one, I found one here, and I think this is the one that's actually the problem. If you look here, I'll bring it on the microscope in a minute. There's a fracture right across there. It's very, very, very fine. It's like hairline. But you see, when you've got loads of pressure, well, imagine what happens with pressure. The water comes out at pretty high pressure, if you see what I mean. So you can have the world's smallest crack, and there you go. You can see it quite clearly there on the microscope. So it goes all the way up to here, all the way over there. Let's try and focus a bit. Potentially all the way down, you can see. It kind of looks a bit hairline there. So anyway, I'll get some JB weld over all of this here, all over there, all the way down to where it looks like it goes here, which is kind of about there, I think. It must have just had a bit of water trapped in it before it got put away for winter, because it was balked when I came to use this in like February, March this year. Right, I found my water weld stuff. Hopefully it's not all dried and gone bad. It has. It's all turned to concrete. Oh, I'm going to have to go on order some more. So maybe that would do the job, I don't know. I doubt it, because you've got really high PSI, haven't you? I don't know how much pressure this thing provides, but yeah, that may hold. Yep, I'm back again. Even washing my hands is proving very, very difficult. This stuff is very hard to get off. Let's get some IPA. Swarfiga or something like that might help, I don't know. The IPA's doing it. It's already setting though, I can feel it going pretty hard on under my fingers. Right, so that's that washer cleaned up. I've got bits of dust and stuff everywhere. Now this goes in a weird way, this washer. It's a strange shape. Yeah, the answer is going to be to squeeze it into this bit, I think, because they can get it to go into the shape. It's, you know, it's a bit like clover-leaf-ish type. There you go. Yeah. Get it to fit into its little cavity there like that. That's it. And then obviously that goes on there. But before we put that end cap on, I guess I can show you this bit now, and then we can just have a wipe around these things. Oh, they come off. Yeah, just to clean off the dust and stuff here. It's got a little nick like that on the inside, so you've got to make sure you get those on right. Yeah, I'm just trying to hold it the same way here. It may have some sort of grease or something on it, but I don't know, it's got mostly carbon or something smeared on it, so I'm just wiping that off. That's it. I guess these are like the nylon bushes that go into cavities on that thing there. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Again, it's got a little cavity, a recess that's on the side that's nearest that, and those just slide up and down like that. Presumably that goes in and out, they all go in and out, in and out, in and out. You've got like 3 lots of pumps effectively. Yeah, so the way it came off is, hang on, let's try and just dry in there. It goes like this, I think. Hang on, you've got to get it the right way up. Yeah, it can only go on one way. And I think this cup, I was going to say, just this whole thing rotate. Maybe it rotates. I don't think it does. I think they just go up and down. So if we get it over the 3 things, easier said than done. Wow, that's hard to get to go back on. Oh, there we go. That's easier than I thought. Right, I'll start with the cleanest of the bolts. Let me go and get some oil. And I'm going to go with some WD-40 here, I think, on these bolts. If we just put the bolt down like that. I've got to try and get this in the right place now. Maybe it's turn upside down because it's got a bigger underside. It weighs a ton. I should imagine it would. I've got to try and get this the right way up, like that. Hold it in place and get our bolts in. Oh, my hands are slipping on the oil. So I'm not going to super tighten this, I'm just going to do it until it's finger tight, maybe, like that. Let's just gently pull it down so I can get the next bolt. Did the top ones, didn't I? Yeah, because that one's not quite tight. Now it is. And that one. Yeah, those are all really nice and tight now. So I think it's a case of just letting this shenanigans here set before I give it a try. I'll report back. Right, so I've thought long and hard about this. I've got some epoxy here, 2 layers of it, and some epoxy here just where over what I think look like little cracks or whatever. But we've only seen bubbles coming out here. I'm going to stick some of this plastic chip carrier. Water pressure is never going to pierce that. Yeah, I don't think. I think the PSI is just not high enough. So I'm going to stick some of this like that. So I need to cut it down a bit actually because it's still a bit big. Yeah, what I want is a plastic barrier on top of that section there. There we go. And we can cable tie it under here. Yeah, that won't interfere with the case. And we can cable tie it under here. So yeah, it's going to need more than one cable tie for sure. Because cable tie, well, unless you've got long cable ties. I've got short cable ties, so we'll just latch one. We'll stick it through there and see. Going to need 3, aren't we? Because it won't quite reach. Yeah, sometimes just thinking outside the box, you can get a fix, a solution. And all I'm trying to do here is stop it jet washing upwards like that out the case. If it starts to trickle down, well, the next thing is it could run into the motor. I don't know. But it was all right. Hang on, let's trim this one down. There's got a bit of resistance trying to get that through there because it's got such a long extended bit on it. Might still be tight, I don't know. No, it's going through, there we go. So, yeah, all being well, might be able to do this with, this one. What I'm trying to do is stop it, stop it spraying up, because out the top, it faces this side upwards here, and out the top was like this jet of water, and I think it's coming out here. And if we put one of these over there as well, that's not going to happen, is it? But the pressure was maintained. In other words, the loss of pressure through that small hole is so small, it's a trivial amount. If you imagine, I don't know what pressure these things hold or maintain, but let's say it was 100 psi, then at the moment it's like 98 or something. Do you see what I mean? It's like I'm not losing much. I'm trying to tighten that up. I'm not losing much with that little thing as it was jetting out. There we go, that's nice and tight. So that's one. Yeah, and you can see that that's going to hold that pretty firmly. And I'll stick the other one over here. Might be able to do it with one here because we haven't got a large gap. Look, yeah, I can do that way. Hopefully it'll still go in the case. And if we tighten that one up. Yeah, it's gadget from the future here. So you can see here this freeze frame. The stuff that's on there at the moment is epoxy. The first time I tried that putty stuff, it didn't work. It didn't last. It just pierced straight through. So the second time, you can see here the epoxy. I put little bits of epoxy. Now, epoxy's stronger. It's going to have a harder surface. It's going to bond better. But I didn't feel that was going to be enough on its own, which is why, before testing it with epoxy, I moved on to sticking this plastic chip carrier. It's just plastic over the top. But the point I'll make here, this was so successful. This is a way to fix one of these, definitely 100% reliably. Provided you work out where the splits are, just cover over the whole thing with sections like this with epoxy and plastic chip carrier, or something similar, that's got a solid hard surface. But the point I'll add to improve it to make it 100% is what I should have done in retrospect is got a little syringe or something and filled the underneath the surface of the metal in between the plastic protection that I've put over it. If I'd put epoxy there as well, it would be 100% And as things stand though, it still works. It's like 99%. There's like a small trickle of water comes out off the edge where the hose is. It sort of, you know, it doesn't jet out of my face like it did, and the pressure is just as good as it was the day I bought it. But there's this small trickle of water that comes out, just dribbling down the side of the hose. Not very much at all, but nevertheless, it's not 100%. I would say the solution to completely fill the void is 99%. So there you go. I actually fixed it. I found a way to fix it, and I've washed my car 3 times so far since I did this, and my wife's car, and I spent 2 whole days jet washing the drive. It was used for extensive periods. I'm talking like 4 or 5 hours at a time, and it was solid, absolutely solid. It's just as good as the day I bought it 25 years ago. Similarly, there we go. You got sort of pull, then you go until it clicks, click, 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 and then trim it down. Try and keep it in the right place, otherwise it'll slide off. And it feels like it slid off that corner there, actually. Oh, let's just rotate this rod in. Yeah, it feels like this gap. Yeah, it has. It's come off that bit there. Managed to cut that cable tight and do another one. Let's see if I can slide it over there. Now you see that's going under. Yeah, I think you can see what I was trying to achieve there. These are just held down, aren't they? And as long as this all fits in the plastic, it should do, I think, with a little bit of, you know, trimming down and moving things around marginally. I think everything's just holding in place. So if this does start losing pressure here, it's not going to affect the jet wash anyway, because it's, like I say, it's 99% good enough at the moment. But the water should just maybe trickle out, which could be a problem because I think the motor's down there. But it was like that all along, so alright, it was jetting upwards mostly. Are we now going to create a problem where it goes in there? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just trying to buy some more time with this thing. Right, I can't show you this working. To get the pump out, you can see one of the screw mounts there. There's just screws around the outside of it, like 6 or 7, and then the 2 halves separate, you know, because you've got hose goes in one side, that's where your input goes, and then the output goes on that side. But that's the model that I've got. It's Dirt Devil, I think. Yeah, and the lawnmower's in front of it. Don't mistake this for it. This is the lawnmower just blocking the front. But I recently showed actually my drive. I did my drive, and my drive spotless, and it's got the same pressure it always had. So that worked. It worked. If I'd have filled those little voids with some more epoxy, you know, underneath the plastic, it would be perfect and probably last pretty much forever, until maybe water expands in there. And one of the things when you're using any pressure washer, if you're not aware, when you finish using it, unplug the hose at the wall, leave it switched on, and you know, jet in until the water is sucked all the way through the hose, because that empties your hose. Disconnect your hose, do the same thing, jet, and you get a little trickle that eventually reduces down to little spits and stuff, and then you should be done. It should be empty, you know, clear of any water, because any water inside that, when you put it away for winter in a shed like this, it freezes, expands, aluminium cracks. It's that simple. So hopefully you found that useful. I'll catch you in the next video.